Hello. Well, it's a little later, as you can probably tell by the sudden lack of daylight. So that was actually Rosie coming home from her weekly visit with her Oma and Opa. That was Opa bringing her back. She goes there every week, as most of you know, and spends a day and a night there, which gives Netta and I a nice break and allows me to make videos. Then Annetta called, and then my mom called, and then Annetta called again, and by then I didn't feel like working on a video, so I made a couple sandwiches and I watched a couple episodes of Survivor, and now I'm back. Okay, so where were we? Right, Season 1, Part 2, and of course now with the lighting, it's almost impossible to see properly. Let me see if I can get a little more light on the situation, okay? Let there be light! Okay, so, there we go. Yeah, so this is Season 1, Part 2, which is quite nice. Yeah, I said it earlier, I'll say it again, I love these covers. And the spines have a nice uniform design to them, so they look really snazzy on your shelf. Very classy, quite nice. So again, just taking a look at the back, once again we have sort of a comic book style presentation, and then inside, this one actually has a tray. I definitely prefer the flip tray, and we've got the episode listing, and there we go. And there's interior artwork all throughout, which is quite nice as well. And then we have Season 2, Part 1, which I just picked up recently. So this is partly a DVD update. I actually got this and the 2 volumes of Fast Forward on our last DVD run. Now, I'm just going to pause here while we talk a little bit about Season 2. Now, a lot of people I saw in the description of the previous volumes didn't particularly care for this whole Turtles in Space storyline. We have the Fugitoid there, and speaking of Fugitoid, I actually do have the one and only issue of the Fugitoid comic book. Now I just wanted to mention something. I remember reading a lot of fans didn't particularly care for the Turtles in Space storyline. Now, for me personally, you know how I like to pepper these with personal anecdotes, right? For me personally, my introduction to the Ninja Turtles, like first ever introduction to the Ninja Turtles, was issue number 5 of the original comics. That was the very first one I ever bought. I'd heard about it from some of my fellow comic book collecting friends. It was a good series and I should check it out. So I picked up issue 5, and issue 5 was right in the middle of the original Turtles in Space storyline. It introduced the Triceratons, it introduced Fugitoid, it introduced the Utroms, which were basically the template characters on which Krang was based, in a way. Yeah, so for me, it was really exciting to see that storyline adapted in the new cartoon, because that storyline was my introduction to the world of the Turtles. It was the first Turtles comic I ever read. I had no idea what was going on, but I thought it was really cool. I was like, wow, there's like sci-fi elements to it. And I was like hardcore into sci-fi at the time. So, so as much as other people were attracted to it for the ninjutsu and martial arts and action and such, for me, it was actually the sci-fi elements of that particular story arc that made me want to check out more of it and sort of sucked me in. So it's kind of interesting. I find like all this negativity about the Turtles in Space storyline from some people, and yet for me, it's quite the opposite, because the Turtles in Space storyline is what got me interested in the Turtles in the first place, you know? So, yeah. So anyway, then we have, of course, I don't own it yet, so I'll just show you a picture, Season 2, Part 2. So once again, they split the season into 2 volumes, and that's fine, because you get like either 12 or 14 episodes per set. They didn't split it right down the middle, I think because there was some multi-part stories in there, and they finally saw reason and put the complete multi-part stories in the sets. And then the final one to be released was this one, which was Ninja Tribunal, which is, of course, the elusive Season 5. So basically, in terms of the season sets, they released Season 1 in 2 parts, Season 2 in 2 parts, Season 5 in 1 set, and Season 6 in 2 parts, and also technically the last half of Season 4 was the first of the 2-disc sets. Confused? So in terms of the re-releases, the season set re-releases, of which these are the first 3, they only got as far as Season 2, which means Seasons 3 and 4 are kind of left in limbo right now. And that brings me to why I rushed out to buy Season 2 Part 1 and Fast Forward on our last DVD run. You know, I've been talking about BCI a lot, BCI Eclipse, and how they closed their doors, and how I've been rushing to get all the Filmation and other animated series sets that they put out. Well, BCI Eclipse is of course owned by Navar Corporation. That's the parent company, and BCI was basically sort of offshoot of that. Well, I found out recently Funimation is also an offshoot of Navar Corporation, and guess what? At the end of March, it was announced that, oh no, Funimation is not closing their doors. They're still doing most of their anime titles and stuff, but they have officially discontinued carrying and releasing Ninja Turtles, and Sonic X was another one actually, and I think there might have been a few other shows, but it really left me scratching my head. Like, this is the 25th anniversary year of the Turtles. If these things are going to sell like hotcakes at any time, it's going to be now. So why would you dump the license for this right now? Clearly there's some behind the scenes stuff going on that we just don't know about, and probably never will. I dug long and hard to try to find some kind of concrete info about what happened, why Funimation dumped the Turtles, and who, if anyone, is going to pick up the license and hopefully pick up where they left off. The only thing I was able to find out was this. The cover art that I've been talking about and loving is apparently done in-house by 4Kids TV, the Fox division that produces the show. So it's actually done by the production company and not by Funimation. Funimation just got the artwork from them and did all the manufacturing and distribution. But all the artwork, all the case art, all the disc art, everything is done by 4Kids, which means, basically, whoever picks up the license and continues releasing the season sets, we will still have this beautiful uniform look to the seasons, so we'll have a nice collection for our shelves. So no worries about inconsistencies in the artwork, except of course when it comes to stuff like the other seasons, like Fast Forward, which is, you know, kind of similar. You can see it's part of the same set, but it doesn't quite match up. So, who's gonna get the license? Well, the popular rumor right now, now did I say rumor? Rumor. It's just a rumor, but I can tell you anyway because rumors are fun. The popular rumor is that good old Shout Factory might actually be picking it up. No official word on that yet, but fingers crossed, and we'll see how it goes. But I think it stands to reason that somebody is going to pick it up because it's just too good a property not to be available, and you know, especially now it's the 25th anniversary. Like, put out the rest of the seasons in a big honkin' set, you know. So far, going through all the Funimation releases, the only season that hasn't had any DVD releases at all so far is the current season, Season 7, also known as Back to the Sewers, which basically, my understanding is, picks up right where this leaves off, where they come back to the present and get back to, you know, gritty goings-on in Manhattan. So anyway, yeah, so I guess to sum up, here's the way it breaks down for the new Turtles series. Season 1 and 2 comprise volumes 1 through 14 of the original releases. Those are the releases with extras and with only a handful of releases, and only a handful of episodes per disc. Season 3 is volumes 3.1 through 3.5, okay? Season 4 is 3.6, 3.7, and Season 4, which is actually the second half of Season 4. Season 5 is Ninja Tribunal. Season 6 is Fast Forward. Seasons 1 and 2 have been re-released in season sets like this, split up into 2 volumes. The only thing is, yes, the episodes are all in the proper order. Yes, there's a bunch of episodes per disc, so it's good value. No, there are no extras. That's right, that's one thing I forgot to mention earlier. There is zilch for extras on here, which is really unfortunate. It would have been nice to see the Peter Laird interview in some capacity. But, if you're looking for something that looks good on your shelf, come on. Those are awesome covers. And it looks pretty slick. So there you go. And then Season 2, of course, is also available in 2 discs. Now, you may be wondering, am I going to talk about the movies? Well, there's really not much to say about the movies. 1, 2, 3, and then the CG one, which I sold a while ago because we're going to get it on Blu-ray. That's the movies. Really, there's not much to say about the movies. We basically just had these plain Jane editions, which have nothing more than the movie trailer and some cheap-ass little DVD games that you play with your remote. Who cares? But there is this edition coming out for the 25th anniversary. Yes, it's a 4-pack, contains all 3 of the live-action movies and the CG movie in one boxed set, coming out on both DVD and Blu-ray. And I don't think there's any word on the extras yet. One assumes there's going to be something for extras, given that it's being put out as a special 25th anniversary edition. But it remains to be seen. It's still a little ways off. I don't think it's coming out until August, so yeah, we'll find out eventually. But yeah, so that pretty much covers everything. So this here, this is my entire Ninja Turtles DVD collection so far. There we go. What do you think? So if you don't want to wait for somebody to pick up the license for the rest to put out the rest of the new series, you can always pick up the Season 3 volumes, the 7 Season 3 volumes, and then the Season 4 volume, and you will effectively have bridged the gap between the season sets. But, as I said before, the Season 3 stuff is all out of sequence, so very frustrating. Anyway, I've rambled way too long, but it's the Turtles, it's the 25th anniversary, so it's got to be epic, right? Alrighty. That's it from me to you for now, so until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara.